Front Office Insights are presented by Sage. We welcome in the man who got that deal done, President of Baseball Operations, Buster Posey. And Buster, welcome in. Certainly glad to have you with us here today. How's everything going, and how exciting is it right now in San Francisco with this deal getting done at Devers in your lineup?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Peavy, you're looking good, man. You look good. You look good in the suit.
Thank you, pal.
Yeah, no, we're all. I mean, look, you had a guy like Rafael Devers. To me, one of the top hitters in the game. We're obviously over the moon about having him in our lineup for a long time going forward.
Buster, I want to ask you about your first conversation with Rafi. What was that like? Obviously, as trading for a guy, it's hard to get some intel on him. You know, what kind of guy he is as opposed to talking to a free agent. How was that process? And then when you did finally talk to Rafi, how was that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, you talk to people across the industry and try to get a feel for the person. And what we heard is he's a guy that loves to play baseball. He wants to go play baseball. He wants to be in the lineup every single day. And then, first conversations with him, with myself and Zach and Bob Melvin, it was pretty clear. I mean, he was excited to be a Giant, and just he wants to help us win games any way he can.
Now, at the press conference, the introductory press conference, all of his teammates showed up there to be part of that as well. What kind of a statement is that?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I think Chapman and Adames led that charge, but this group's become tight quickly. Again, I think that's a credit to Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Logan Webb, and to see them there, I know it meant the world to Rafi to have that support right out the gate. And again, yeah, these guys have bought into, if we want to get where we're going, they've got to have each other's back, and they've done a nice job of that this year.
I heard you talking about forming an identity. You certainly seem to be doing that in the right ways. I got a two-part question. In trading for somebody, and this is obviously maybe the biggest trade in Giants history, is there any trades you can think back on in your career that you're like, holy crap, we're getting this guy's coming? And then when you're negotiating this, are you thinking about the energy that's going to send into the clubhouse and into the fan base?
Yeah, no, for sure. You're taking all that into account. I mean, ultimately, I believe a big part of this job is, of course, we want to have great players on the field and a roster that's going to help us win a lot of games. But to me, Rafael Devers is a star, and our fan base, as you know, Peavy, they've been clamoring to have guys like this that they can show up to the park and root for daily. And like you add a guy. I mean, I think back in my career when we added a guy named Jake Peavy, I was pretty excited to meet him.
I kept trying to trade for him every year, and I just couldn't prime him away to bring him to New York to play with us. But how about the notion?
No, but seriously, in all seriousness, he injected an energy into our clubhouse, and there was a leadership element that he brought that I know that, Sabes targeted those type of guys, and I certainly paid attention to that.
So for Rafael Devers, I mean, he wasn't necessarily known to be a real leader in Boston, but he is a leader swinging the bat. You knew the fan base has been clamoring for that star. You guys haven't been able to get one in free agency, so you got to trade for one. But the idea and the notion of what the fans will feel when this deal does get done, did you feel that building over the course of the negotiation?
I think it was pretty evident from the get-go, knowing our fan base, like I know our fan base, that they would be extremely excited about Rafi being in our lineup. And, as you mentioned, I think Rafi is a guy that's going to lead more by showing up and being in the lineup every day and having productive at-bats and driving in runs. And we feel good about, again, Matt Chapman, Willie Adames is a little bit more the vocal leader. So it's not something that he has to feel like he has to do.
So the Red Sox are in town this weekend. How much of a sense of humor do you have? Will you play Devers at first base maybe tonight? Just because I think we'd all get a good chuckle out of it.
Yeah, I was talking to Bob about that, and I'll let him make that decision. I'm thinking we're probably going to need to get some more reps at first just to make sure he's comfortable, before we do it. But I'll defer to Bo Mel on that one.
Look, I'm going to just piggyback off that question. You're talking about your communication with Bo Mel. I know Dusty Baker, longtime great mind, is out there. Saw Barry with Devers. You know our buddy Jeff Barry's out there with you. How much in this role are you learning in the communication? I'm sure that's a huge part of it, but you've got a great staff to lean on.
No question. No question. I mean, the people around me, as you mentioned, Zach Manassian's been in the game for a long time. Jeremy Shelley's been in it forever. You mentioned Jeff Barry. Jeff Barry was instrumental, and for me, just bouncing questions off of him. He's negotiated so many different deals. Obviously, this is different than negotiating for a player or free agent, but just his experience was extremely important for me. So, yeah, I mean, there's a ton for me to learn, but there's a ton of people around me that have a lot of experience, and I've been all ears.
Hey, so this is getting lighthearted here. When you knew you pulled this trade off, when you and Brez had done it, what you go tell Kristen, I got to know, do you turn KNBR on? Is it Bay Area, NBC Bay Area? How did you celebrate the news and when you got this deal done? Tell us that.
Yeah, it was funny, Peavy. I mean, it was Father's Day, so I had flown back from LA, and the kids were all outside running around, and I'm on the phone, last hour, just kind of sweating, trying to get this thing done. And finally, when I got it done, was a huge sense of relief. And we were Sunday Night Baseball, so flipped it on ESPN and saw that it had broke. I mean, it didn't take long. That's another fascinating part about this job, right? Is how quickly stuff leaks out.
It is amazing, isn't it? It used to drive me crazy. How I had a conversation and 5 minutes later somebody else knows about it. Absolutely crazy part of it.
I think I am pleased with our group, and a credit to the Red Sox as well. I mean, we were talking about this for going on a month. So the fact that we were able to get it done before something came out is a credit to both sides.
Look, I've always said it. You had the golden touch. I'd get more comments about this reel right here. Talk us through this play. I don't know if you've got this. Look at this. When you're this old, talk us through it.
You're still barking at the umpire. I thought I was going to hit you in the face, so I started to run out there to hopefully get the ricochet and keep the runner from scoring from third.
That's amazing. I mean, the amazing part was the ricochet and the catch, but that you were arguing with an umpire. Like,
when you're that old out there with that kind of stuff, you need every strike you can get, pal.
That is so funny. Well, Buster, thank you so much for giving us time. Congratulations on the big deal getting done. All the best of luck and success with Devers and the team the rest of the year.